Hi, legends. Let me put myself on here. A little bit of a different format. Not my full face today. Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin. Jump into the alpha, right? Like the thumbnail. Are the bears taking control and just playing with the emotions? Everyone hoping for a little bit of a bounce here to the upside, which might not come. And as per my update this morning, some critical levels to the downside that we need to keep an eye on. So, legends, let's go and analyze the price of Bitcoin. Let's have some fun. Ask some questions inside the comment section. Smash up the like. Hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. This is where we bring the alpha. Well, I try to bring the alpha from a technical analysis perspective. This is where I educate, okay? So you can fish and become a successful day trader. Right, let's get the party started over here. Welcome, Irina. Reskno, good morning. Everest, hi, welcome to the live stream. Mr. Crypto Big Brains, always appreciate your support. Welcome, welcome. It's Luke's bear flag on 1 hour. Yeah, I mean, and I mean, yes, I think you do have a point over here, you know, a little bit of a how can I say, expanding wedge here to the upside. It looks like it just wants to break down here. And we will analyze, and I'll basically tell you guys what is the last level in the sand that I'm watching over here for a potential bounce here to the upside and a rejection. The one thing that I am acknowledging, I always talk about you go back to the scene of the crime and then you get the rejection. But when momentum is aggressive to the downside, the retracements can be very shallow that don't even hit common FIB targets to the downside. And it really reminds me of this structure. This structure over here really reminds me of this structure to the downside. Do you guys see this structure? Okay. To the downside, very confusing, very choppy. It looks like you're getting a bounce. You're not getting the bounce. It just grinds to the downside. It gives a little bit of hopium, but it still makes those lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, continuously just falling to the downside. And the question is, will this time be different? I don't know. I don't know, but I do know that I have levels of confidence that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. And I mean, the probabilities looking at this structure, like I highlighted this morning, okay, when I just want to make sure if the music is not too loud. It looks like it's fine. You guys should be able to hear my voice clearly. Right. Hi, legends. 𝗬𝗏, Nero 8, welcome. Rickard, hello everyone. 40k on the cards. I love it when people get bearish. Right. Music is perfect. Thanks, Mr. Crypto Big Brains. Cool, because I know sometimes people complain about the music, so I try to keep it in the background just for some soothing music. But some people say they can't focus. Some people love it. They say I need to push it up. Right. Cool. Legends. So the fact, where was I? If you take, let's just do some basic technical analysis over here. I love the Fibonacci. I really love the Fibonacci because it gets so well respected. But when I look at this Fibonacci over here, okay, let me make it thicker so everyone can see the lines properly. This is the concern. This right here is the concern. Okay, usually a higher probability, okay, it's not always guaranteed, but when you go and backtest this, around about 7 out of 10 times, when you have a pump and you have a retracement to the 0.88 level over here, this is why I have this level in my Fibonacci, because the default settings does not have that level. When you tap the 0.88, okay, nice level to have inside of your Fibonacci, because you can see the reaction that we had here to the upside. Okay, so you can see that the 0.88 do get respected from a Fibonacci perspective. But you increase the probabilities when you tap the 0.88 to come and take the lows. Okay, so you've basically increased the probabilities by 70% that you're most likely going to claim the lows before you claim the highs. Okay. And usually what happens, usually, not always, it taps the 0.88, it either falls down directly or it has a small little bounce here and then it drops to the downside. But most commonly it retraces to the 0.618. I have seen this happen very often where it finds support at the 0.88, it struggles, you know, that choppy action, and then it rolls back down. But the fact of the matter is, regardless of what price does over here, the probabilities for now are higher to claim the lows than to claim the highs. And it's purely based on probabilities. And I mean, there is still a probability, a 30% probability that price is going to do this and take the highs and not the lows. And then everyone's going to say, Devil, your technical analysis suck. But at the end of the day, it's just a game of probabilities. So that's why I can never tell you guys that it's guaranteed. We're definitely taking the lows before we take the highs. I can't say that as a technical trader. All I can say is the probabilities are higher to take the lows before we take the highs, based on this price action, which is at the moment impulsive here to the downside. My purple volume, in your case red volume, depending on how you color your chart, okay, is on the increase over here. So right, also I think we have retraced to a minimum fib target, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, from a shorting perspective, myself and the legends inside of our Legends Discord community, we were waiting, or still waiting, okay? When you take a fib from the high to the low, we are waiting very patiently, and we might not get it, okay? Because I got asked the question today, Devil, do you still expect higher for the short? And I said, I will only short when my level gets hit, okay? I'm not that type of clown that just shorts from any level and have massive risk management, and when I do get stopped out, there's a big hole in my account. I trade from my areas of interest, not to my areas of interest, and I do not FOMO into trades. If price falls down here, then it is what it is. If I get a beautiful retest, okay, and there's some bearish CVD, I will then consider a trade. I want to see what I need to see for me as a technical trader to have confidence to enter the trade, but not as price is just falling to the downside. I do not FOMO into trades. If that's part of your trading strategy and you have rules built around it, by all means, okay, as long as you can manage your risk. So, I mean, we were waiting, still waiting for the 0.618 as the high probable zone from a rejection perspective, and also the 50% fib level, because there's some areas of confluence over here. Okay, obviously the most obvious area of confluence is the red box. Okay, and then also you have two 0.618 fib retracements at the same level. But usually I have seen, okay, when there's obvious confluence that most technical traders can analyze, okay, price will either front run the level like it's doing now here at the moment, okay, or it will smash it and then turn around. Okay, either do it most of the time does one of two things. When a lot of people, because I did see from a social perspective, a lot of people are looking at this resistance box because it's obvious, it makes sense, and when everyone, okay, is watching a box, you might just front run it and fall here to the downside, or you scare the crap out of these traders trying to build short positions here with high leverage, 100x, you know, some of the exchanges even to offer 200x positions, and then price liquidates them before it turns around. Definitely a possibility. So now that we've discussed the probabilities over here, okay, what I would like to see in this structure, it's not game over just as yet. It might be very soon, okay. It looks like price wants to fall to the downside, but when I zoom into the 15-minute time frame, okay, it looks like we want to lose this trend. It looks like it really wants to lose this trend. Okay, it actually now bounced perfectly, because now you can see that these, just let me zoom in so everyone can see very clearly, is that we have now finally tapped these three pivots to perfection. Okay, and you really want to see this. This is, before I use those words, let's take a fib from the low to the high and see. Okay, we are at the moment inside of the golden zone, the golden pocket, okay, between the 786 and the 0.786. This 786 needs to hold, okay. If there's any chance for this structure to still have momentum to the upside, this level needs to hold, okay, because this is your last bullish level from a Fibonacci perspective. As soon as price comes down here and it taps the 0.88, then the probabilities kick in again that you're going to take the low before you take the high. Hope that makes sense. Yes, smash up the like button for the alpha over here. So you really want to see us, for the bulls to have any chance for momentum here, looking at this structure to the upside, we need to hold the 786 at $60,480. We have to hold this level. If we don't, we're going down. Okay, it's just a game of probabilities. Right, so if you are one of those traders that do have a long open, maybe you were sniper enough to catch the 0.88 over here on the larger time frames. I think there was also nice naked point of control. Let me go back here onto the 1 hour time frame. There was nice areas of confluence. Okay, my mouse just stopped working. Right. When I switch on some levels, point of controls, okay, point of control over here inside of this range was tapped to perfection, okay, that provided the support together with a 0.8. That's where we got the bounce, okay. And so point that I wanted to make is there is some areas of confluence which could mean that we could get that small little relief rally here to the upside. But we have to acknowledge that we have already tapped a major fib level that can confirm continuation to the downside. So when you take a fib from the high to the low over here, you can see that we've already tapped the 0.382 and ever so slightly front run the 0.5, because that was the next area that I was looking at, and we literally missed it by a couple of dollars. I think $100 or no, $11, right? We literally missed it. Let's say we missed this level by $20, because that was this 50% fib level. This was where I was considering a short, and I actually played along from over here. I played along to the upside. Okay, I took profits on the way up. This was my final TP, and I went to gym. I came back after gym, and I was like, what happened? I got stopped out, okay, at least with some profits, didn't tap a 50%, and I really wanted to potentially look at a short in this zone. And I think that also has confluence with the previous day. Let me switch on my today analysis. Okay, this also had confluence with the previous day value area low, right over here. You can see I even had my alarm set over here on this line. Okay, 50%, previous day value area low. There was some confluence over here, okay. If this is, I mean, if you really want to get crazy from an Elliott wave perspective, if this is potentially a 1, 2, 3, okay, 4 is usually has the maximum target of the 0.5, expecting a fifth wave here to the downside. I was really hoping for this level, and then we front run it. So if price can find some support and start recovering here to the upside, I will still be looking at the 50% fib level for potential short, basically an SFP from the highs as well, and the 0.618, and a little bit further up the 786. Okay, I know that looks a little bit messy over there. Okay, let me just clean up some of these levels. Right. Cool, legends. Smash up the like for the alpha. Let's get to some business. There's something that I would like to discuss with you guys from an exchange perspective, but I need to just think carefully how I position this. Okay. Just want to look at CVD. Okay, we do have some insane. Let me just refresh this and make sure that it's not playing tricks on me. Sometimes the candles can play tricks on you if the data is not refreshed. For those of you that do use CVD, you have to often refresh this chart because sometimes it does funny things. So we do have, I just want to see if we have bullish CVD. Yes, we have bullish CVD against those two pivots, of which the target was the high. So played out. Beautiful. CVD played out. So now I'm not looking at this pivot anymore. Now I want to look at this pivot, but I mean, we already claimed the low with the bullish CVD that was forming over here. So it's either a swing failure right? You guys know, for the people that have watched my CVD tutorial, this is either going to be a swing failure or it's going to be an invalidation where we're going down lower. Okay. But for now, it looks like it's not above this pivot just as yet. We already took this pivot over here. Can you guys see? We already took it, the low over here. And now we're coming down for a second time. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's see. Let's see if we can recover from here. Swing failure. And then also 786. When I go back here onto the 15-minute time frame, I mean, for the structure to still have a chance to the upside, it needs to bounce right now. This is where it needs to bounce, at the 786. I mean, it can still go a couple of dollars, but this is where it needs to bounce. So I will definitely consider a long position here to the upside. If we can tap the 786 as a maximum target and you start getting a recovery back above this low, okay? As soon as you recover and you're basically then back in trend as well, I will consider a long, maybe, okay? I will consider a long. I want to see this price action. Right. Smash the like, legends. Yes, Mariella, welcome to the live stream. We are waiting. No trade is my best trade at the moment. Yes, I like that saying. A no trade is also a very great trade, because by not trading, it means that you're still holding on to your cash. Okay, so you're basically also trading by not trading. And if you're unsure, you know, market is confusing, don't force a trade. Okay, never. As a technical trader, then don't ever force a trade unless you have areas of confluence and there's confidence behind your trade, and you feel confident. If you're not confident, just risk way less capital. Okay, if you're not confident. Okay, let's jump into the slightly bigger time frames. Let me take this out the way, clean it up, take the fib out. Monthly level at 58.8. Let's see. Monthly level at 58.8. Monthly level. Yes, 50. Well, depending on which exchange you use, it might be at a different level, but let's just make sure that I do have it at the right level. Let's go to the monthly time frame, zoom into the price action over here. Make sure, okay, I just want to make sure that I have used my magnet over here. Snap it on perfectly. Yes, 58,000. Mine is $58,941. And depending on which exchange you use to do your analysis, this level might be a little bit different. But from an education perspective, if you do not know how to add monthly, weekly and daily levels, they are extremely powerful levels to make a trading decision, and we often trade them from a daily perspective. Okay, so monthly levels, you go and you select your little horizontal line. Okay, you select your horizontal line, you then select your magnet. It doesn't matter whether you put it on strong or weak. I just leave it on weak, and then you go and you snap it on to a open and close that are at the same level that has not been tapped. Okay, always bring some education into my live streams. So this level can definitely offer some support to the downside, okay, like the weekly and the daily levels that I always keep an eye on as well. And here is now potentially a new monthly level forming over here, but I won't put the wick there or the horizontal there as yet, because I want this monthly candle to finish closing first. It's not valid. Okay, so for example, I cannot put a monthly level over here because it's already been wicked. You can see open and close at the same level, but price action already went through it. So this is the only valid one that I have to the downside. No monthly level, it's already been wicked. No monthly level, it's already been wicked. Okay, and then that's basically what we have. This is the monthly level that we have, and then I also have a naked monthly point of control, but I'll get to that in a different time. Okay, then you go to the weekly time frame and you do exactly the same. I like to keep my monthly levels purple, I make my weekly levels orange, and I make my daily levels green. And most of the legends inside of our Legends Pro Discord community also do the same, so that we all know which levels, even if they don't have names next to them, we know exactly what they mean. So on the weekly time frame, now I switch on my weekly levels. You can see I have a weekly level snapped on with a magnet. Okay, the reason why it's so important to switch on or to snap on these levels with a magnet, because if you don't use a magnet, let's say you have a weekly level and you go put your thingy there on top, when you start zooming in, you can see you didn't nail it. Okay, and when you zoom in and out of different time frames, this level jumps around. So when you snap it on with a magnet, it stays exactly where it's supposed to stay. It locks it in. Okay, it locks it. Nice. Do those 2 weeks. Beautiful. So now it doesn't matter how you zoom in and out, it's exactly where it needs to be. This is why I use the magnet. Okay, cool. Open and close. We have a weekly and a daily level there. Okay, let me just go to the daily and see if it is indeed a daily level. Yes, it's a daily level and it's also a weekly level, which makes it more powerful. Okay. 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗍, hi Devil, welcome to the live stream. We just hit the 64.8. Are we tumbling down here? Are we still tumbling down? Okay, cool. So purely from an education perspective, this is basically how you add weekly, monthly, and you'll see on the daily time frame, you do exactly the same thing. And then I go and switch on my daily levels and bam, I have my daily level. So now it looks like I have a lot of levels of confluence. But what is concerning, okay, I'll be honest, what's concerning about this range, there's not much support or resistance. Okay, it feels like it's a little bit of a free fall area over here. The only area of confluence that I have is here to the upside where we have a naked point of control, a naked daily point of control. And then that also has alignment when I go back onto the 1 hour time frame. It also has alignment with this resistance box. So if price by some miracle, okay, finds upwards momentum, you can use this line as an SFP line, swing failure pattern. Okay. And for those of you that are inside our Legends Discord community, you know exactly what we mean by swing failure patterns. We often talk about it, even during my streams here on YouTube, we often talk about swing failure patterns. One of my favorite trading strategies, because the risk management is absolutely phenomenal on swing failure patterns. Where on most other trading strategies, there's a slightly bigger risk depending on how much capital you use to deploy. Okay, right, so let's see. I just want to see where are we getting, oops, did I now delete all my important stuff over here? Okay, let's just take the brushes out the way. Go back onto the 15-minute. It looks like it wants to hold. It looks like it wants to hold. Let's see, the bulls need to step in. Bulls, if you're listening, you need to start buying, right? You need to start buying. It looks like it wants to hold this trend. It looks like it wants to hold this trend. Do we have CVD that's supporting this? Let's go into the 3-minute. Okay, very neutral. I mean, we took this low, so I can't look at this bullish CVD because we already took the low. Now, and this is the patient. This is where the patience starts kicking in. The patience will now tell me, okay, Devil, you now need to wait for new CVD to form, okay, before you make a trading decision. Right, or not really a trading decision, to see whether the momentum, okay, is going to form bullish CVD or bearish CVD. For now, it's just neutral at the moment. I'm not looking at these pivots because they've been invalidated. If price starts pumping here and it starts making bearish CVD starts shooting up here, you have higher high on CVD, lower high on price action, then you know, okay, probabilities have increased to come and take the lows once again. But it looks like this level wants to hold, legends. It looks like it wants to hold. You can see we have not lost trend. We have not closed body candles outside of the trend just as yet. It looks like it wants to bounce here to the upside. And I know it looks scary. It looks very bearish. It looks like it just wants to fall here to the downside. All I'm trying to highlight over here is, as long as we have not lost the 786 inside of this structure, the bulls still have a chance for this level and potentially the highs over here. Okay, we might not get here if we're going to front run it. Okay, and for now, the bulls are really defending the 786 level over here. Game over BTC, Alejandro. Well, I can trade BTC to the up and to the downside, okay? I'm still in my short from... Where was my short? My short was over here. Okay, this is... And just take the magnet out. I entered a short over there. And for those of you that don't remember why I entered the short over there, simple technical analysis using a swing failure pattern, fib extension from the low to the high, to the low, and at the 0.618 is where I entered. Can you guys see the 0.618? That is exactly where I entered. Okay, so I need to be a little bit more realistic. I entered over here, and then Mr. Andy, the legend in the house, identified this potential WXY structure. That really got me excited. Here we go. Okay, WXY. Very complex, extremely complex corrective structure, but I mean, it just made so much sense. Where you form a W, okay, you have an ABC in W, you have a flat in X, and then you have an ending triangle in Y. You're not allowed to take the E point or the Y point. That's basically how the structure works. Very complex, and WXY structures can they can get really, really tricky. Okay, so when I saw this structure, okay, I knew from a risk management perspective it's quite simple. Okay, I already took profits on the way down. When I entered over here, I already took some profits. Okay, I left about 40% of the position open. And then when this price action started happening over here, and we had a live session inside of our Legends Discord community, and we spoke about this structure, I was like, okay, well, for me, it's now simple. I've already taken profits. I'm going to add 50% to my position. Okay, so I added 50% to my position, and what it basically did is it moved my entry to this pivot right over there. And what I did is I put my stop loss slightly below, okay, so that when I get stopped out, or if I get stopped out, I still get stopped out in profits. Because I knew if price is going to reclaim this area, it's not a WXY anymore, we're going higher, then I'm going to look for longs. But I wanted to maximize the potential here to the downside. And I mean, this was quite a scary move where I saw some people cashing out their positions because it looked like it wanted to pop, right? But actually, if you look at the triangle, it was just a retest. Okay, you have a flag. It came and it retested the trend. It formed the trend over there. It retested the flag. And now we are where we are. Now we're here at the bottom, trying to find support. Okay. So I have taken some profits on the way down. I think I took more profits here by the 786. When you take a bigger Fibonacci from the high to the low, I took some more profits here last night before I went to bed, and I still got about 15% of the position open for lower levels. Okay, but as a day trader, I don't just enter a position and leave it and not take profits. That's not part of my rule system from my trading strategy perspective. So I always pay myself. You have to pay yourself. Okay, so I mean, what a complex corrective structure, and well done to Andy for actually counting it and saying, you know what, 𝗬𝗍𝗍, Legends, this looks highly probable. Beautiful WXY structure. You don't often, okay, it's very rarely that you see a Y wave end in a triangle. It's very rare in Elliott wave theory. Yes, it does happen, but not often. Usually a WXY structure, okay, in the simplest form is when you have a WXY, it has an ABC, 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 done. That's a simple WXYs that I often identify as well, where you then have a WXY. Okay, and it's these little Y wavies. Ooh, these Y waves, because the Y wave, usually you get the ABC in X and W, okay, but the Y wave can be the triangle that I've just shown you in that corrective structure. It can be an ABC. It can also be a WXY that has three waves. They can get, Y waves can get really, really complex. And as soon as you start seeing a mess on the chart like this, okay, you know it's a very complex, most probably a WXY corrective structure, and usually people just don't trade them. Okay, people that are very familiar with Elliott wave theory and technical analysis, when they start seeing a mess like this, they just stay out of the market for the market to show you the way. And then the way was down, right, where you lost support. So then you could potentially then switch to a breakout trade. You have a triangle, you track the triangle from a pattern perspective, you play the short, you can add with the retest, you play the momentum down, maybe you get stopped out, you re-add because you didn't get acceptance back above, or you play the breakout over here. Many ways to get into the trade. Okay. Right, but from a Legends trading community perspective, I mean, we got into this trade like snipers. Maria, I see you here in the live stream as well. I know that you got into this trade as well. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful long. Okay, also, I mean, was it this one? Just want to see. We also got into this long at the 0.618. I mean, guys, I can just show you guys. 0.618, no one believes me. There's some technical traders that says, why do you use Fibonacci's? They don't work. I can tell you guys now, there is so many 1.618 levels inside of this structure, you will not believe it, that you could have traded successfully, okay? And I showed the Legends Discord community a little while back. And I mean, guys, if you want to join our Legends Discord community, it is the first link down in the description. Okay, so open up this video. You go to the description, you click on more. First link down in the description is where you join our Legends Discord community. What I'm also going to do, okay, today is, let me make sure, today is Thursday. So tomorrow morning, make sure that you join at least the free Discord community over here. If you have any trading questions, even a personal question to myself, a trading related question, how to use the FIB, doji candles, spinning top candles, any trading question that you have, you want me to look at an altcoin from an Elliott wave perspective, spot bag perspective, whatever trading question you have, okay, what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is inside of our free Discord community, okay, under the chat section, yeah, the Legends Basic Hub, in the chat section, I will be asking, Legends, please post me your questions, and then in tomorrow's live stream, it is going to be a community live stream where I will go through each and every single question inside of here, okay, that you guys are asking tomorrow. Well, yes, right. This is also where myself and Andy provide daily technical analysis. Just want to see what is Andy showing over here. Bullish CVD, he's seeing the Bullish CVD. Yes, Andy, I also see the Bullish CVD. Right, but not long a year myself. Okay, cool, Legends. This is the alpha that we provide on a daily basis inside the pro community. But tomorrow inside the free section, this is where I'll ask the question. So if you have a picture of a chart that you would like to share or anything like that, make sure that you sign up, go and ask your question, and then we can go through it here together on the live stream. Okay. Right. Cool. So for now, getting the bounce. But what I wanted to quickly, I mean, just out of curiosity, guys, I mean, often talk about backtesting your strategy, right? I often speak about backtesting your strategy. Look how powerful the trend-based FIB extension is. Can I show you guys how powerful this is? And for any technical trader that's here on the stream or that's going to watch this later, that tell me that Fibonacci trading doesn't work, I'm going to tell you that, you know, you are smoking something, right? So let's start with any example over here. And there's a couple of successful trades that we entered with a 0.618 level. So when you take a FIB, so I'm measuring this wave. So FIB extension tells me where the next wave can go to. Okay. So when I take a FIB extension from this low to the high to the low, guess what? Why? Okay. If you're telling me FIB extensions don't work, 1.618, bam. Okay, need I say more, right? Let's look at another structure. FIB extension, let's go take this low to the high, to the low, drag it across. Okay, this one actually went a little bit more parabolic here to the 2 extension. It did hit the 618. Okay, did hit the 618, but it overextended. But I just want to show you guys a couple of examples, right? Take another fib extension from the low to the high to the low. You can see, okay, also 1.618. Can you guys see how often the 618 levels gets respected? It's just absolutely amazing. They almost always get respected, especially if you have the trend is your friend until the end, remember, and if you are playing momentum to the upside, those 1.618 levels are extremely powerful from a profit taking perspective. Okay, and then also let's look at more over here. Okay, let's look at this structure from the low to the high. Oof. Can you guys see? Okay, you would have caught this short to perfection. Did we actually play this short? I can't remember if we, Maria, I can't remember if we caught the short here to the downside. Okay, 1.618. I just know that we played a lot of 1.618 levels inside of this structure successfully as a community. Okay, and then again, okay, when price was falling here to the downside, looking very bearish, okay, you take a fib extension. I measured this wave from the low, from the high to the low to the high to perfection. I remember we took this trade. This is the trade we took. It tapped the 1.618 to perfection and then bam to the upside. Okay, so for those traders that tell me that Fibonacci's don't work, you just need to learn to use them properly. Okay, because a lot of people still struggle with where to draw them, how to draw them, but you know, backtesting it and practicing the Fibonacci, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. 𝗬𝗿𝘆𝗽, did you send me a friend request on Discord? Yes, it was me, Mr. Mark. I did actually. I tried to send you a message and then I got like an error thing saying that because we're not friends, I'm not allowed to send you a message. So Mark, yes, it was me. It's not a scammer. Welcome to the live stream, by the way. I thought it was for me going to drop touchdown. Right, so legends, I hope I have demonstrated to you how powerful the 1.618 levels are. Okay, again, you have a wave, 1.618. This is how we caught the short. Because a lot of people, they look now at where we got the entry, okay, versus where the price is at the moment, and they think, how on earth did you nail that entry and you just caught this whole momentum here to the downside? It's the 1.618. Okay, but I have to highlight that all the 618 levels are really powerful, because sometimes you get over in extensions and they'll go to the 2618, they'll go to the 3618, and this is why I have them all in blue, because I know how important they are, especially if you have a third wave to the upside in Elliott wave theory. A third waves can get really punchy and they like the 618 levels. I actually saw, just want to see something over here. If I take, I want to see if I remember, if I take a fib from the high, from the low to the high. Okay, so here you can see just measuring this first wave, for example, just this first wave, 1, 2, okay, it went to the 3618. Okay, it got a rejection here by the 2618. It got a rejection here by the 1.618. You can see how well the 618 levels are respected. Okay. 618 in nature, okay, you see them in sunflowers, you see them in nature, you see them everywhere. Human psychology, that 618 number just pops up everywhere. Okay, I will do some research from a ChatGPT perspective and just, you know, share with you guys how powerful that 618 level is, because it's a natural number that you find in nature that applies to trading for some reason as well. Smash the like. Yes, hello 𝗬𝗿𝘆𝗽, good afternoon to everyone. Show us the way. Or the time-based fib only used in lower time frame. No, I use the time-based fib on all time frames. Okay, so from a higher, so I'm here on the 1 hour. So what you can do is, okay, everything moves in waves. You have to remember, everything moves in waves. Okay, everything, the price action always moves in waves, and there's always a pump and there's always a correction. There's a pump, there's a correction, there's a pump, there's a correction. inside the smaller time frames, but then there's also a pump and a correction. So you can use your time-based fib inside of these smaller waves to measure the impulse versus the correction, and also in the bigger waves you can do that. So no time frame too big or too small to use your time fib. Right, so I mean, from a curiosity perspective, if I take a time fib from the low to the high, almost at the 1-to-1 extension, okay, 1-to-1 extension is usually the perfect balance between the impulse and the correction. And this is why I have the 0.318 in red, I have the 618 in orange, and I have the 1-to-1 in green. It's almost like it goes from dangerous to medium to it's okay. Okay, if you measure your impulse and you want to measure your correction from a timing perspective, is the 382 is considered the minimum target. This is why I have it in red, not really preferred. Anything before the 382, okay, is just highly unlikely. 618, it's okay. It's okay. I have seen a lot of corrections complete by the 618. 1-to-1, oh, beautiful correction. Okay, beautiful correction. Legends, but for now it looks like the bulls are really defending this area. Okay, the bulls are really defending this area, and I just want to see if we actually dip down lower. Okay, I mean, from a longing perspective, risk management doesn't get better than this. Okay, we actually did tap the 786 while I was doing some education over here. You can see I said this is the last line in the sand for the bulls. Okay, do still have a chance to potentially come and claim this high and even go a little bit higher. Okay, this is the level, and we tapped it now to perfection, and we're getting a bounce here to the upside. Your risk management is absolutely insane. I mean, you could be as sniper as putting your stop loss literally glued to this low, because any lower you're going to tap the 0.88, which means you increase the probabilities of taking the low, so you don't want to be in that trade. Okay, as soon as you tap the 0.88, you don't want to be in the trade. Okay, so for now, we didn't tap the 0.88. We are getting the bounce to the upside. So, I mean, this is the last chance for the bulls to potentially claiming the high and inside of this resistance area over here. Okay. Let's see. What is CVD doing over here? CVD is neutral. No bearish CVD. So, it could potentially pump here to the upside. I don't see any weakness for now. Okay, let's see how this plays out. You got acceptance back above this low as well, which is great for now. Always with good risk management, because you just never know. Right. So, I mean, for those of you that's been watching me since the beginning of the stream, you know, I've been talking about this level. I unfortunately did not get into this trade. I'm busy educating and sharing some analysis over here. But if you were listening and I said this is the last line in the sand, I mean, even if you had a trading setup, something, oops, where's the long tool? Okay, even if you have a trading setup like this, targeting the highs potentially, okay, you had your stop here below this low, the risk to reward is still absolutely insane. For every $100, making $400 more or less. You make $400 with $100 that you're risking over here, but I would definitely start moving up my stop loss. Okay, because price is still in a very dangerous territory over here. Remember, the probabilities are still higher to go down lower, okay, than to go up. So this is a scalp, guys. I'm not saying it's going to do this. I'm saying that this could potentially be a scalp where it rolls back down. Okay, and you just want to benefit from this momentum here to the upside. And this is what we do as day traders, okay? We trade up, we trade down, we trade up, we trade down, we trade up, we cash out, okay? If you're a type of trader that is hoping every time you enter a trade that this is it, I caught it, we're going to $100,000, you must probably not making money. Okay, because there's no trade that is the trade. Everyone that always enters a trade, especially when they start out trading, always think that they've now caught the trade and then they get stopped out, or they trade without a stop loss and they liquidate their account. Okay, right, let's go through some comments over here. Fishy moves by BTC. Yes, it looks very choppy here at the moment, struggling to find its feet. Okay. Also, I wanted to see if I just put a fixed range here. Where are we? I mean, this is bullish. Okay. For now, you can see that we have tapped the bottom of the value area low. Okay. We wicked below. We closed the body of the candle back inside, which increases the probabilities of potentially coming back to the top of the range. Okay. You have a deviation, you go to the bottom. You have a deviation, guess what? Probabilities increase to go to the top. Okay, I will definitely consider taking profits here even before you take the high, because you could literally, like what happened over here, you tap it and then you fall down again. And that's what we do as day traders. We just trade the momentum up, we trade the momentum down, protect our position. It's such a repetition. Guys, I cannot tell you guys how boring trading is, okay? If trading is still exciting to you and you're sitting and biting your nails every time you enter a trade and the emotions are going all over the show and you look at your profits and you're getting all excited, you're most likely not a consistent, profitable trader, because I tell you guys now, trading is boring, okay? This is why I started a YouTube channel. This is why I started the community, because I've successfully mastered the game. I'm a consistent, profitable trader, but it gets very lonely and it's very boring. Okay, way more exciting for me to sit here and chat to you guys and share my education, because at least that gives me fulfillment. Trading does not give me fulfillment. It makes me money, but it doesn't give me fulfillment. Talking here to you guys, sharing my education, okay, that gives me fulfillment. This is why I started my YouTube channel. This is why we created the Discord Legends community. Okay. What are bullish bouncing zones of FIB retracements? Okay, very cool question. Okay, very great question to ask. So when you have a FIB retracement like I have over here, from the low to the high, okay, let's just take the fixed range out here so it's not so confusing. Take this long out here. Okay, the bullish retracement areas. Okay, this is why it's called a FIB retracement, because you have the FIB from the low to the high and you want to see where price can retrace to. Your most bullish bouncing areas is between the 382 and the 786. Okay, you do get bounces from the 236. Very rare that happens. Maybe 1 out of 10 times that you get a bounce from the 2.36. 0.8 increases probabilities of taking the low and invalidating the bouncing area. But these are usually your bullish targets. And I know it's a big box, but when you see this price action that we're seeing at the moment, I know that, like I said during the beginning of the stream, this is the last line in the sand for the bulls. You lose the 0.786, you tap the 0.8, you increase the probabilities of taking the low. Never guaranteed, just increasing the probabilities. Right. Cool. So for those of you that did enter the trade, congratulations. Okay. For those that did enter over here, congrats. You should now be in profits, and remember to pay yourself on the way up. At least, protect your position. Okay. If you don't want to get stopped out with a loss and you have your stop loss here, you can, protect your position, because I can tell you guys now, if we come back down here and we tap the 0.786 again, I think we're going to lose it. It's game over, because you're also then getting acceptance back below the trend. So I would protect my position if I'm in this trade. It's just how I would have traded this scenario over here. I would protect position. You're in the profits. Make sure that you are now inside of a free trade. Enjoy the ride here to the upside. Pay yourself. You've worked hard. You've stressed for this entry. You were biting your nails. Okay, you have to pay yourself, right? Okay, so I think so that could potentially now be a successful trade. And if momentum continues here to the upside, like I said, legends, okay, the fixed range profile that I just drew over here, that fixed range profile, the top of that range is usually a great profit taking area. Okay, you don't have to close the entire position. You can have rules to say that, okay, I'm going to take 60 or 70% profit. I'm going to leave the rest open for higher levels. But just be cautious, okay, that when I take a FIB from the high to the low, I would like to see us tap the 0.5 at least, if price is still going to reverse. it feels so weird that price turned around $11 before we tapped the 0.5. The ideal area is this zone over here, 618, massive resistance, okay, massive resistance. You can see the resistance, maximum target 786 for a reversal back to the downside. Okay, so you need to pay yourself because it's just never guaranteed. If you one of those traders that think that I've nailed the entry over here, we're going to $100,000, don't be that person. Yes, we might. You just never know. We might. You just never know. But don't be that trader that gets stopped out every single time without taking profits, believing that they've caught the low, and then price does this. Okay. And I can tell you now, there's a lot of breakout traders going to trade this trend here to the upside. But I'm just, spreading a word of caution. If this is a successful breakout here to the upside, we have a lot of resistance over here. Okay, look at this resistance. That's a tough nut to crack. I mean, we have to consider the bullish case scenario as well. If we do, for some miracle, break through here, you want to see some nice green volume like over here. You want to see some nice green volume kick in to confirm that it's a true breakout, and a retest with bullish CVD confirming proof of support for continuation to the upside. That's where I will switch. Okay, if we break this level successfully, I will switch bullish. For now, I'm bearish. As long as we're below this level, I'm bearish. Okay, and I'm bearish to the point of $57,000. which I have discussed in my video update this morning. So if I go here onto the 4-hour time frame, this is where things become really, really interesting, okay? Is this structure. Let me switch off some of these levels to clean it up. Okay. We can even go into the 8-hour just to make it nice so everyone can see the structure and the candles properly, okay? 3-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 3-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 3-wave structure, okay? And this is potentially the formation of another 1, 2, 3. It would be very, very weird, okay, from a technical perspective for price to find support where it is at the moment and do this. It would really, I mean, the market is here to surprise us, and I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying that there's a low probability, okay? We first need to, if we crack this nut that I've shown, this resistance area, if price can successfully break through there, flip this area into support and create a higher high over there, right, where you want to see price create a higher high, then I would say, oh, I will be very surprised because I haven't seen this price action before, okay? And right, and then I'm going to switch bullish. I mean, as all systems go, we could potentially, if this happens, we could potentially go to $100,000 and the bull market's back on, baby. Okay, but I think there's some magic that's going to have to need to happen for that to play out. For now, the probabilities are still higher for this. Okay. You have a 3-wave structure to the downside that tapped the 1-to-1 to perfection. When you take a fib extension from the high to the low to the high, 1-to-1 to perfection, which is ironically also a very common 3-wave structure target. Okay, you have a 3-wave structure to the upside. Guess what? You tap the 1-to-1 to perfection. And now we are potentially forming another 3-wave structure here. 1, 2, 3. And guess what? The 57th or the 1-to-1 extension is at $57,840. And I think what makes this level so significant for me as well. Let's zoom into the structure on the 4-hour. Just want to show everyone, okay? So now, when I zoom into the structure and I take a Fibonacci from the low to the high, guess what? Can you guys see that? Do I have to point it out? Can you guys see this? 0.618 1-to-1 extension. It's like the planets are aligning, the moon, the sun, you know, it's aligning over here. Beautiful, beautiful alignment at the 0.618, which is a retracement from this impulse to the downside. So it's a high probable bouncing zone over here where you could potentially finish, based on what I've shown you in the previous structure, a 1, 2, 3 to the downside, $57,000. Okay. If everyone on social media are going to start watching this level, okay, I just have to tell you guys that you're either going to front run it, maybe we bounce here, which doesn't make sense, It wouldn't make sense because you're not tapping a three-wave structure target. I would say if we lose, okay, this low, and everyone is talking about this level, which I don't see at the moment, but if everyone is going to start talking about the 0.618, I think what the market makers are going to do is they're going to send it down a little bit lower. And guess what? The 1.236 at $56,275 is also a three-wave structure target. So it's not to say that the three-wave structure has to end at the 1-to-1 extension. It can also end at the 1.236. I would more like this level to get hit to scare the crap out of everyone that's going to watch this level, if everyone starts talking about this level. For now, I think it's not many people have noticed this nice confluence area over here. Okay, but $56,275. Okay, you're basically swing failuring from these lows over here. I mean, that's a beautiful target to hit for then a three-wave corrective structure complete, and then what you want to see is a three-wave structure back to the upside, because everything inside of here has just been three-wave structures. Okay, can you guys see? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then this three-wave structure could potentially take the high. Definitely a possibility for this three-wave structure to take the high. Okay, guys, what I want to discuss now is the following. And I just want to make sure that I position it correctly. Okay, in my YouTube description, right, I have a new exchange that I am testing out. Okay, please listen to my words carefully. I am testing out Weeks. I've heard about it. The team have reached out to me. They have some amazing deals on the table. And there's some great future rewards. Okay, so I am testing out this exchange at the moment, no KYC platform, because I'm looking also for an alternative to Bluffin. Right, so if you would like to come and help me test out the exchange, and I remember in the early days when I used to trade with 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽 and 𝗬𝗫𝐶 and not so much Binance, but when I started trading with those platforms, there was a lot of bugs, there was scam weeks, there wasn't enough liquidity pools. I remember those platforms being buggy and sluggish in the beginning, and as it becomes more mature, the platform just becomes better and better and better. So I have started testing out Weeks over here, right? There's some amazing rewards coming down the line. I can tell you guys that much. You also, for now, when you sign up, you get that $380 welcome bonus. And so I just want to tell you guys that if you would like to try out a different exchange, if you'd like to help me test this exchange, okay, from a testing perspective, I've thrown $1,000 into the exchange, $1,000 into the exchange, and I'm starting to test with it, see if there's liquidity, if I put in a stop loss, does it get stopped out? So here's another alternative, but I'm just positioning it at as a testing exchange that I'm currently using, and I will be sharing some of the amazing deals that's coming down the line from a Weeks perspective. So if you guys would like to go and sign up with Weeks as a no KYC alternative, go sign up, trade with Weeks, and let me know inside of our free Discord community, how do you find the exchange? If you find any bugs or anything that bugs you, okay, let us know and we will pass that feedback on to Weeks. Okay, up until the point where I feel comfortable, where I can tell everyone, this is my highly recommended exchange, go and use it, and I have high levels of confidence. For now, I'm still testing out this exchange. Okay, so just wanted to position. So for more trustworthy exchange, for now that I know that we've tried and tested to the extent, is Bluffin, no KYC option. And then obviously everyone knows 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽. By using the link down in the description, you qualify for that $500 airdrop. Okay, and also the World Series of Trading. Right. I hope this structure that I explained over here makes sense, legends. Do you guys like the structure? Does it make sense? And I mean, this is just technicals. This is not because I feel like it, whatever the case might be. This is purely technicals, legends. Pure technicals. I want to go, oh, it looks like we're getting some dumpiness here to the downside. Is that level not holding? Ooh. Okay, That's why I said, guys, you need to protect your position over here, because if it's going to take this low, it's most likely going to come down lower. Okay, it looked like it wanted to go. It looked like it wanted to go. Now we're back below the trend. If it taps this level again, there's a high chance you're going to claim this. Okay, so you don't want to be in that trade. You don't want to add to your position as price is dropping, hoping that price is going to turn around. Okay, don't be that person. Take the knock, take the loss, right? You don't want to liquidate your account. You don't want to blow a hole in your account. The bulls had a chance, and if the bulls, it looks like the bulls are losing. Okay, for now the bulls are losing. It looks like they were winning with a nice little upwards momentum. It doesn't look great now at the moment with this retracement. Just want to see over here. So this is where I get really technical. If I take a fib from the low to the high, and I can tell you guys now, okay, if you tap $60,000, 457, you're most likely going down. Okay, because we have now tapped the last bullish level inside of this mini structure. Okay, so if it can find the strength here and bounce back, I would say, thank goodness. Okay, thank goodness. But now it's again at the last level in the sand inside of the mini structure over here, which increases the probabilities. You tap the 0.88, you're going to take the low, which increases the probabilities you're going to take this low and this low. Does not look good. The price really looks weak here at the moment. Okay, and I'm just holding my short there from the top. I think to at least $57,000. Okay, right. I'm waiting for 61,400. 61,400 here to the top. Yeah, and that's the thing. We might not get there. Okay, that's now the problem, because this looks very bearish, and maybe, just maybe, okay, there is a scenario where you swing failure from the low. Okay, maybe there's a swing failure that can be considered from the low over here, where price loses the area and it gets acceptance back above. Maybe, but right for now the price does not look strong. It already had a relief bounce here to the upside. It already tapped the 382, which is a good enough target to start creating impulses back to the downside. Right. Yes, I see. What do you think 𝗬𝗍𝗍 made higher high in 1 day time frame? It will not make low below 7 fib. Any possibility? Let's look at the daily over here. Okay, let me take these things out of the way. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just wanted to do this. Yes, so I see what you mean. 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗽, I see what you mean. Okay, so I mean, this is why this structure still has a chance. Okay, it's the most, during this entire consolidation since March up until this point, okay, is just bearish, beyond bearish. Okay, lower highs, no bullish signs inside the structure, lower lows. And now for the first time inside of this structure, we have a chance, because we have a low, okay, we have a high, okay, that means nothing. What becomes significant is we have a higher low and we have a higher high. Now that tells me that market structure could be starting to turn around, where with this three-wave structure here to the downside, what you want to see is yet again another higher low. So you could have a trend over there connecting the lows, okay? But regardless of whether you lose this trend to the downside, you just don't want to take this low. So I can tell you guys now, if price action falls down here and it takes this low, the probabilities to going to $40,000 drastically increases. Okay, but for now, even with this bearish price action here to the downside, that people are now calling for $40,000 again, I mean, there's still a lot that needs to happen before we get to $52,600. Okay, because if I look at this structure from the low to the high, we bounced on the 786. Okay, beautiful bouncing area. We didn't tap the 0.88, which increases the probabilities of taking the low. So we tapped the maximum bullish target, and we got a nice bullish bounce where we made a higher high. So now what I would like to see for the bulls to stay in control, okay, this could definitely just be a healthy correction for the bulls here to the downside, is that when you take a fib from this low to the high, okay, you also have targets. You have the 50%, you have the 618, you have the 786. Like you said, 786 as the maximum target as long as you do not take this low. Okay, where price makes a three-wave structure here, maybe at the maximum target, and then it continues and makes yet again another higher high. Higher lows, higher lows, higher high, higher high. So for now, based on this price action, the bulls are still in control. Okay, the bears are in control from a small time frame perspective, but overall, looking at this structure, the bulls are still in control. We have officially started to change market structure. Okay. And this looks like proof of support to me. So often when I speak about proof of support is that I have a higher low and I have a higher high. That to me is proof of support. Now price needs to make a higher low compared to this low, not take that low for continuation to the upside, and then potentially it's game on. Okay, and even if price comes up here, okay, and it takes this high, guess what? This low is still the low that needs to be broken for the bears to take control. So even if price comes back down, making the world bearish again, oh, we left the consolidation, and now we're finding continuation back to the downside. Guess what? As long as you still make a higher low, momentum can continue to the upside until you break market structure to the downside. Okay, right. Cool. Thanks, Deal, for understanding. Pleasure, man. Pleasure. Just want to see something over here. Legends, thank you so much for joining the live stream. Smash up the like. If you enjoy the alpha and the education over here, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I try and my best to provide as much education and alpha in this channel so that you can learn to be a successful day trader, giving you the tools, the education, and don't forget to join our free Discord Legends Pro community, where I'll be asking some questions tomorrow, and then we will make a community live stream tomorrow where I will just basically go through all of your questions. And then that's it from my side. Enjoy the evening. Cheers for now.